Hello everyone. Hope everybody's doing all right. And hold on. I just saw it meow that I was rated. I have no idea what stream together means. I don't know if you know this, but I don't know what I'm doing. Like ever. Was that a raid? Or is it a stream together? Okay. Alright, sorry. Just normal Rograg stuff, everyone. Hi. How's everyone doing? Meow, thanks for the raid. I hope your raid, because you normally stream raids, I hope your raid went well today. Hello, Dominar. And to anyone else who's watching from Meow Gaming's stream, hi, welcome. We got a special treat for you today. I'm doing something I have never done before, which is actually go through the process of making icons. I know sometimes I've showed it. I've showed where I'm at with the work, but today I thought I'd let everyone see a little bit under the hood. I'll be repeating myself multiple times about this one thing, but these are all just submissions. Nothing I do is like a guaranteed gonna be in the game. So, keep that in mind. I'm not a dev. I'm not, anyone on the team. I'm just a very persistent community member. So, I think if we get more eyes on this, get some of the brain juices flowing, we can make some stuff. And you know what? Even if it doesn't work out and the team doesn't want any of them, that's all right. We're all learning skills. We can all get better at something. So I thought, hey, maybe I could also show the people some of the process of what goes into making an icon. So showing something you're good at, Bloxen, listen, I still wouldn't claim that I'm good at making icons. I would say that I know how to do it. Alright, sorry, Meow said we just finished Care 40. 5 bosses, hey! Good on you. Congrats. I mean, that's great. I believe that means you're in... Did you actually get to Outlands? If you did, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't know if you already left, but... Shouts out. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's so good, dude. I hope you're having a good time in there. I've never been in character. I've only been there with my little eye in the sky camera. Skip Medivh, they're the most progressive TA. Hey, I love to see the Telebim glow up. We love to see the Telebim glow up. And that makes me think. Speaking of Banana Land, let me show you how some of this works. We're talking bananas. So let me get. I also need. I have a browser ready. I don't want to completely dox myself if I accidentally click on something, so we're just playing it nice and easy okay. Alright. Banana. Okay. And I realize I'm not showing off any of my actual web browser, so let's see if it... Boom. Okay. So, talking about Telebim, here is the oft-used banana icon. Now, this banana icon, what I'm doing here is I go to Wowhead, and I look for the icon itself, right? All you have to do is you click on the icon, right? Okay. Here you can go see all items, spells, or achievements. We're just going to click items. And this will show me how many items use this icon. Now, we also know on Turtle WoW, it's a little bit of a different story. So if I do banana like that, well, I can see that there's 2 trinkets, I think, that use the icon, and then just the quest item banana, and then there's a strange Telebim banana, and then the actual Telebim banana, which, I mean, when thinking about use case scenarios, this is a quest only, so you're not going to see many of these. There's a good differentiation between these that you pick up in Telebim versus the ones that you get enchanted to become a gargantuan banana. So does there really need to be a new icon? Not necessarily, but I thought it'd be a good jumping off point to show some of how this works. So I'm going back to Wowhead. I'm going to go to the icon right here. And then I want to go to original. This will give me a nice little banana to work off of. It is a lot of bananas. So we're gonna go now we're in the studio. So let me get my color. I'll put my color wheel up here. So I have 2 open projects. I don't know a lot about image editing software. What I do know is that generally for my purposes, I use paint.net. It's pretty much like a stronger MS Paint would probably be the best way I would describe it. It has layers, which is a big deal for what we do, and it has some plugins. It's maybe like training wheels before like Adobe Illustrator or the open source GIMP is the name of it. I could never get my mind around GIMP, but I like using paint.net. It's been very user friendly, so I just keep using it. If you see any of my thumbnails, most of the generated art that I do make, I just use this to make tons of it. I'm not a doodler myself. That's Riddle, but I'll take his images and then put it here to do something with, right? So anyway, with that preamble out of the way, I have 2 little projects I have. One has, this is essentially just my frame. And then this is where I take the images I grab from whatever source, whether it's a vanilla icon or an icon I get from somewhere else. I would put it here. Something to keep note of is that canvas size. Now, you may not know this, but the actual icon art sits underneath a frame, and the icon art itself is only 56 by 56 pixels. So it's not even a 64 by 64, but I'll go in here, adjust it, and then I put it under the frame in the other project. It's kind of like my workflow. So here we are. You see I have some of these ones I've been messing around with, but we'll start another layer. Do a little paste here. Boom. We have the banana. Easy turn it. So Rao Kangren, rotating can be very effective, but here's something you may not readily be aware of. So I got these allergies are kind of driving me nuts. So the way that light hits most icons, let me just see, can I get a... Oh, this is gonna be too big, I think. Anyway, most of the light you see on an icon does one of these. Most of the light comes in from the left and goes down to the right. Most. There are definitely exceptions, okay? So one thing you may not even realize that if I just rotate the image, so if I do something like this, you might not think about it, but it would look more weird in your bag to have an icon like this. That's right, Maticus. That's exactly what we're doing today. We're doing some Bob Ross. Sorry, I have to go blow my nose. Excuse me. There it is. Could I get you to make a banner stating you're making turtle icons so you don't end up having a fellow community helper on your back about not doing Turtle WoW streaming while listed on live? I am literally working on Turtle. This is Turtle WoW. There's nothing else I'm doing here. If you think that doesn't count as Turtle WoW content, I'll gladly pull my live thing down. But I'm talking about the Turtle WoW project. I'm working on stuff that's used in Turtle WoW in the context of Turtle WoW. If you think that doesn't count as Turtle WoW content, all right. Having a fiddle. And no, what do you mean make a banner? Oh, like one in stream? All right, hold on. I got you. What's this one say? Muraga's on comms. Making icons for TWoW. There. Now it's clear. No mistake. That's what we're doing here. Hopefully that's what you wanted. Yep. No, I'm generally pretty good about that. I know I've had streams where like I'll play some Turtle WoW and then I'll play something else. Even then I'm usually really good about taking down my listing, but now it's clear as day. What I'm working on is Turtle WoW related. So what we got here, like, I'm not an artist, right? I will make this clear as much as physically possible. But what could we do to the banana? I can't draw a new banana. So really I have two options now. Option one is to, I'll say creatively steal someone else's icon in like a pixel art form. But I'm going to tell you that is a tough row to hoe, because the things that actually are like that size in pixel art that would work for any kind of WoW, it's pretty seldom. I mean, I will show that, like, here's an icon I found somewhere that I use. I might end up using it. That's probably not a good image, but like that I found. I can't even tell. I don't even remember where I found it, but I'm like, oh, like maybe I could resize that and make that into like an icon. So like that. So it's pretty rare. But so option one is to steal art, and the other option is to take art and what I would like to call, which is lightly bastardize it. So let's talk about how I do that, because I've shown icons where, you know, I take you guys have seen like the dragon scales. Almost all of them got like a icon update, so they would be easily differentiated between dragon scales and like mostly it was jujus that you'd get a conflicting image with. You reek of mod locked vibes. Hey, oh wait, I thought you were talking to me. Hey, listen, Rock Hangren. Ploxin does a lot for the community, and I believe they are they're German. So we need to be really careful and understand the cultural disability that is. Really is going to want to follow the rules. Which might... Oh, wait. Yeah, you are German, right? Pretty sure. Whelp scales, Murloc scales when? That's not been on the top. But anyway, we'll get into the weeds, but sorry. I'm like, I said it, I'm like, wait. No, maybe they're not German. You speak a bit of Deutsch. I mean, I'm just like, well, hold on. Is Dutch like a Germanic language? I think it is. Oh boy. I wanted to talk and do art stuff. I didn't want to talk history or culture. I'm not great at that. All right, so what I'm going to do first is I want to isolate the banana. And we're going to do that using a little magic wand here. And I just want to select the black. I see, like, if I do something like this, you may not know it, but if you zoom in really close, you can actually see there's many different pixel colors being used here. Hello. All right. Oh, sorry, I lucked out. It's pretty even. So we're just going to go ahead and delete that. Now, it might not look anything changed, but if I get rid of the layer background, you'll see we're making some progress here. Let's see if we can get rid of some of this. Looks good. And some of this. Looks good. Okay, so we have the banana isolated. This is good. Now, I will immediately show you some stuff I can do, like I can change how this looks. However, we have what I would like to call like an old artifact. This used to only be surrounded by black, but it's going to have a black background, which might not seem like it matters much, but one thing that you can do when making icons is you can take a, as long as you're on the layer, this might be true in other image generation software, but when you do an erase, you're not just like chunking the image and just making it all go away. You're actually sometimes, here's a good thing, like if I just tap this real quick, I have it set to very low hardness. Do you see how you can see a little bit of the checkerboard there? That means I made those pixels like a little bit more transparent, not actually deleted. So what I'm going to do here just really quickly is I'm just going to dust up these edges a little bit. Just want to remove that harsh, oh, that's actually a little too harsh. Another thing you probably want to get used to if you ever do stuff like this, hotkeys are your friend. You want to know your hotkeys, you want to know them well. You want to be comfortable using them. It's surprisingly more important than you think. I have so many of them like memorized. And see, this doesn't seem like much, but when we get to it, I'll show you some of the cool effects you can do. And it's enabled more so by having these outlines softened up a little bit. You don't really have to worry too much about the corners because the corner is going to be mostly covered up by the border. You can do it a little bit though. Wait, something looks wrong with this banana. Oh, it's still rotated horizontally. Just a little softening up. Nothing too crazy. You want that banana to be nice and soft. All right, so we already have continued the bastardization. So the next step is to really get in the weeds and see what we can do with some color manipulation. Hello, Tholinar. Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for dropping by. This is a very unusual stream from me, but all the same, I would be doing this stuff normally by myself. And I stand by the fact that I want the icon differentiation project to be community led. I'll go into many people's discords. I want feedback and critique. So I care about what people are saying on this. I'll put in all the sweat equity if y'all can just be honest actors and let me know what helps and what doesn't. So that's what this stream's all about. I'd like to show off some of the process. So it's not exactly Plain Turtle WoW, but... Alright, we have the banana rotated correctly. Let's get a background in. Alright, that's just your regular good old black background. What are some of my favorite icons? Ooh. That's actually a really good question. I'm trying to think what it's called. I actually have like an answer for this. I don't remember. I remember I liked how it looked. I will say, out of all the icons, the warlocks have some of the best icons. I like them. They say a lot with a very little space, and you know, it might be the humble clam. Might seem like a weird pick, but follow me here. Let me just get a good you guys can't see that. I love this icon. It seems very basic, the big mouth clam. And if I'm being honest, it is kind of basic. But if you've seen clams in real life, representing a bivalve, one of the most simple and like hard to distinguish creatures, like what's the difference between this and a rock? You'd be surprised how difficult it is. This is actually probably my favorite icon. Also, I'm a big fishing guy too, so. And what is that one called? The other one I like. Yes. Drain life and drain mana. I love these icons. I mean, you have someone's face and you can really tell that, like, again, you're saying a lot with so few pixels, and I just think it's one of my favorite icons. I don't even play a character that has these icons, so. Alright. Back to manipulating the image. The ore stuff you posted, I think the elemental one will be hard to recognize, not enough difference from Earth. You know what? Ploxen, we'll get to that one. I'll even show off how that process went. So let's go. Let's just go for broke. I'm going to show you something easy you can do. All right. So all I've done here is I've gone and told I think I have to set these all to 0. All right, we're still at default values right now. So with the layer selected, there's a lot of stuff you can do here. I don't even know what all of them do. Well, this is one that I will often use to get some new effects out of. Now, this is yellow banana, or is it a green banana, or is it a blue? You see what I'm saying? Now, one of the difficulties, though, is that... Let me see if I can find a good example. So, the flesh of a banana is sort of like an off yellow. It's almost like a beige. And when you're using hue shifting, things that don't really have color, which I'm not going to get too far in the weeds, and I would know what I'm talking about as far as like color theory and art, but white, gray, and black don't have any what's called hue. So if I'm adjusting hue, there's not actually a lot to work off of. So one thing I'm immediately noticing is that the difference between how the flesh of a banana looks and how the peel of a banana looks actually matters. So we'll get a little bit more into the weeds here. So right now, this one layer we're looking at is just the main banana, but I'm going to do something to separate them further. I'm taking a lasso select. You circle stuff around and it selects those pixels. It's easy as that. I'm going to try to isolate the flesh of the banana here. Now it's a little vague where the split is here, but I think we can give it a shot. Not my best work. And you know, sometimes you don't like what you did and you just go back and fix it. And we got all the way through. Lovely. Let's see, did I get all the pixels I wanted? Yeah, yep. Something you might not know too, when you're making selections, for a lot of image editing software, if you hold down Control, you'll see like there's a little plus sign. That means anything I do right now would be added, and if I hold Alt, anything I select now will be subtracted from my current selection. So right here, I want to, let's say, get rid of that. And see, now it's no longer part of the selection. It's a handy tool to know, and if that isn't how it works on your program, just look into it, as it's handy to have. And let's see if I get rid of some of this. Alright, that one doesn't want to get unselected for some reason. Alright, so it was a little meticulous, but we got there. So what I'm going to do now is I have the flesh part of the banana selected. So I'm just going to do a Control X or cut. Boom. Oh no, we have a fleshless banana. What will we do? Well, we'll immediately make another layer and then just paste it back in. It's like the banana never left. The cat rip and rake should be a war crime. What happened? What happened, Ploxon? Tell me of your tale. Oh, they flipped it? Oh no. Raukangren, I have tried the burn tool. That's an advanced, but yeah. So now that these two items are separated, now I could do something a little bit more creative. I can go here, and now when I do an adjustment, you know, what if I just want to change the banana peel to something a bit more exotic. Oh, let's just try that. Do I like... Also, saturation is a fickle thing. I don't normally suggest people mess with it unless you have a good reason. No, where the shading wasn't bad. I think I'll unsaturate it a little bit. And then I can make it a little darker, a little lighter, whatever we have. I was pretty much okay with neutral. All right, now we're gonna go to the banana. And now the world's our oyster. It defaulted to what I had it set on before, just in case I wanted to do the same. But we're actually just gonna go. No. And we can see that maybe I should have caught more of this when I did it. I could still go back and fix that though. In fact, I just might. All right, let's select this. It might not seem like a big deal, but with pixel art, every little pixel can really make a big difference, so sometimes you just gotta do it. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I'm isolating the selection to just the pixels I asked for. Please and thank you. Okay, the selection's being weird. I think those are the ones I want. Oh, I didn't do it right. Now put that there, and I will... And I say I lost what the value was, so, you know, I have to figure it out again. It was like some kind of light blue. All right, and no one's the wiser. Am I okay with this? Yeah, I think what I will do here is, for a lot of times, if you're trying to find a specific color, hotkey for an eyedropper is a K, at least for me it is. So I'm gonna pick this color right here. When you're doing stuff this fine, you don't want to use like a paintbrush, you want to use pencil because it's just like 1 pixel big, which is pretty much what we're looking for here. And then, okay, let's pick this one. And pencil, is pencil P? It is, yeah. Hello? Oh, I know why this isn't working. So, the flesh of the banana is over this. You can see in my spazzing out, it changed stuff, so. Sometimes, too, this is just what it's like. It's really meticulous work. This is why I personally think that, like, you know, making your own art's probably, the move. It's not always an option, though. Does that look like it belongs? Yeah, that could do. Let me look at this one. bring that to the lower layer. And find a nice light color. That'll work. Alright, that doesn't... The funny thing is like, this is what it would look like for you in game. It's like, oh well. Now I want to mess with the banana flesh. Make something really... Okay, yeah. Bada bing, bada boom. We just made an exotic banana. As you can see right now, this is all that you can see to the image, so I'm just going to do a little Control-Shift-S to save this, and I'll do a fun banana. No, wait, I do not want to do that, because that isn't actually what I'm trying to do. Ah, right. So... I forgot a step here, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put those layers together. So I'm going to put the weird banana flesh, the blue banana peel, and the black background. Then I'm going to select this whole thing. Just do a little copy. Then I go over to my frame center. Put that in. You can see, by the way, you can see where the pixels aren't like matched. So it's over by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then down by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is the one I will save. Fun banana. When you save something as a PNG, it can't have layers in it. So it'll look like I just got rid of all that work, but when you're in an image editing software, you can just undo it and they're all back again. Lovely stuff. And now I have this banana here, and I don't want this to be sitting in the project, so I'll just get rid of that for whenever I come back next with my next thing. Same thing here. I'm going to separate all the layers. Now, I did a lot of work to separate the banana peel from the flesh, so I'm not gonna want to do that again if I ever come back to Banana Land. So I'm just going to make those layers not show, and then I'm ready for whatever next thing I want to work on. Now, how I do this work, I've mentioned multiple times, this is, community led. I ask people what icons, where could they have icons kind of improve or make their game experience better? What kind of struggles do they have? And also some things from my own experiences and frustrations or, stuff like that. And if I'm being perfectly honest, even at base, vanilla had some hefty overuse of icons. Some of that was developer crunch, some of that was, the left hand not knowing what the right is doing, because you'll have a team make all this stuff, and then they don't tell the art team that, hey, we need an icon for this, and then it gets to crunch time, and before you know it, you have 5 items that are all rocks that all use the same icon. And on the player end, it's kind of a bummer. And, we were just talking about Drain Life, Drain Mana, how that icon's really cool. It shows so much. It can kind of really convey what an item is, what it does, or an ability to. So it kind of feels like an easier way to convey more to the player. And most of what I've focused on is just trying to get the icons to be different when it's helpful. You have to remember too that there are people that are not weird jaded losers like me who have been playing the game for a long time. There are people that are new to the game. They don't want to have to find out how Limited Invulnerability Potion and Flask of the Titans are the exact same icon for no reason. We can make a better WoW. And we can all do our part. So where was I going to show next? Also, I do not know why. My... can I refresh this? I'm sorry, by the way. I just noticed that there are a lot of people in YouTube chat, and I'm not seeing your stuff in my overlay. So, sorry about that. I saw Maticus, I saw Jackie Chun, and then I see a bunch of stuff from Nazi that didn't show up. Is there a way to refresh this? Oh, okay, that's weird. So there's different ways to see chat. You guys can do it too in YouTube. There's like a drop down. In the drop down, you can have top chat, live chat, or fan funding, which I don't need that. So it had top chat, so only like certain things were being shown. I don't know what that was about, so I apologize. To Nazi Haxer shouts out, hello. Let me see what was said. Honorable mention the mage teleport portal spells, especially Undercity. Yes, that is a great icon. It's you have to think of how complex those cities are and how much they show with just those icons. Nazi says you can do it for you can color select and then adjust the color of your selection without taking the time to split the pixels from the flesh. Also, you missed a few pixels. You know, I'm glad I have someone like Nazi who's gonna put my feet to the fire and make me do good work. Yeah, also, I should say, Paint.net, also free. I wouldn't suggest a paid software for someone who's learning stuff. Blue Nana. Would Turtle like any icon help? I can do this stuff lightning fast. So, Nazi, yes. Yes. Is the team actively asking for it? No. But I have a spreadsheet. I know I say this a lot, but there are icons that I said this at the beginning of the stream, and I will repeat it. These are submissions. These are things that like the community could make and submit, and then we can ask the team to make those changes. They still have editorial control. But let me be honest with you. The reason I've tried to organize this is because if it was just like me sitting in a room going, man, they should change this icon, and I whip up an icon and then send it, one icon all by itself in a sea of requests, developer work, it's gonna get lost in the sauce. So what I'm trying to do is sort of make like a big cluster of icons to be like, look, all the icons that you can change or improve, it's in one spot. Take a look. If you like it, if you don't, boom. I will do the item ID, like I'll get that connected. I'll even show what items it might have been conflicting with, and then I'll zip it all up and send it off. Like that's, so I'm trying to be a facilitator of getting community people interested to help out and do that. So Nazi, there's a reason why I put rogueragfishlayer@gmail.com. If you have any icons you'd like to send, we could take a look at. I would be more than happy to. I'd actually prefer it because I'm terrible at art. So, all I'll say is, if you send me stuff, there are two things you should know. You can send me your image in the, I gotta make sure I get the pixels right. You can send me an image that is 56 by 56 if you don't have the frame. If you do have the frame, you can throw it in there, but when it has the frame, it needs to be 64 by 64. That's all I'll say. And finally, when you send them to me, compress them, put them in a zip. For some reason, as I understand it, small images with certain protocols can get weird artifacting, specifically small images. It might just be a Discord thing, but let's not take any risks. Raukangren, you and these Murloc scales. So yep. So to reiterate, if it's just the image without the frame, give me it in 56 by 56, also PNG format, please. If it has the frame, 64 by 64. And send those to vrogragfishlayer@gmail.com. All right. So Elysium says, I love the new icons. The chromatic flask looks very cool. I really was happy with how that one came out. I think the original was kind of sad. It was just like black and very bleh. Photoshop is free when you pirate it. I'm not gonna lie, Haxer. I'm sure Photoshop can do all of this. Might even be able to do it better. But with icons this small, it kind of feels like shooting a mosquito with a cannon. There's a lot of doohickeys and things that people do not understand. And the learning curve is quite steep to get that far, when anyone could fire up GIMP or Paint.net and just make it happen. It also teaches you the fundamentals of layers as well, so. You've been using Photoshop for a long time for pixel art. That's good. I try to stick to my ethics. I hate Adobe, and I wanted to burn in a fire. Yeah, and that's another thing I bumped into as well. Like, I've been using Paint.net for long enough. Now I'm like, I don't want to have to learn new keybinds. Raukangren says, hey, we have many Murlocs and merely 3 to 4 lousy leatherworking patterns for those. Well, here's what we'll do. Raukangren, I'm going to show you some more of the process here. There's a fine member of the community like yourself who's like, hey, this is one that I think could use some improvement. So we'll bring up the browser, because one of these, oh my goodness, it's a spreadsheet. Very intimidating, very scary. Haxers probably had nightmares about it. You'll see here, it kind of starts at 130. That's because I am hiding a whole bunch of lines just for my sanity. Same thing here. This is the process where I will look for all the items. First, I also have to make sure there's actually like a good use case. I think I have one in here that I remember someone said on stream, glowing fruit, and the note was a request to actually make it glowing. I put low priority, and it's like, well. So let's, before I put anything on the spreadsheet though, we will, because nothing is official yet, and I'm showing you guys the process. So Raukangren has meltdown over Murloc. Okay. So let's see what the damage is. I mean, it could actually be bad. I don't know. First, let's start with this. Just Murloc. Looking for items. All right. Murloc fin. Okay. Slimy Murloc scale. Thick Murloc scale. Torn Murloc fin. Now, this is a quest item. So generally, when it's a quest item, I'm just going to kind of go hands off on it. You're only ever going to see it once, and you can't like get stacks of them normally for most quest items. So I'm not that worried about that. What I do see here, though, is thick Murloc scale, slimy Murloc scale, and Murloc fin. Which, I don't know about that. The eyes could also use change, but... Hold on, wait. Purple, Gargantuan, Murloc? This is a mount? We have that? Oh, jeez. right, I'm going to open up these. And the thick Murloc scale. I'm going to open up these two because those are two different icons. So Murloc fin. All right, it's dropped by a lot of things, but there's a lot of Murlocs. Thick Murloc scale. Yep, same deal. Now here's the next step. I want to find out what this icon is. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to type in Murloc. This is Wowhead again. Murloc. What I'm curious about is the name of the item. Right here it says INV underscore MISC underscore monster scale underscore 02. Okay. So this is I don't know if everyone has this access. This is a tool that I use to look at what are the available scales. Or like icons. So I know the language for it was inventory MISC monster. All right. So this is what vanilla essentially has. You'll notice these aren't even updated with my changes, but this is just like getting a good baseline for how many we have to deal with. You know, what's the story here? All right. There are more Murlocs. There are more scales. Agreed. And okay, I mean, what is this one? This one is 2. All right. There could be temporarily unavailable. Did I literally have Wowhead crash? I had Wowhead crash. The server crashed. I can't believe that. I could say that, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is used somewhat frequently. I'm trying to think of a way to... How many other things? Yeah, dang it, this is the next step. Okay, that's still working. Okay, specifically that item, which is very weird. Let's just see how many items use it. Now, this is still in the base vanilla game. It refuses to... Something about this icon is cursed. But you know what? I'll say maybe, right? Maybe there's a use... Maybe there's a purpose here. Because I could see someone killing some mobs and you have a bunch of these Murloc fins and... I think you'd be able to tell them apart. What I really wanted to get at, though, I was trying to see how many things use this item icon. I can also just try typing it in this way. MISC monster scale underscore 02. Well, that puts a damper in the whole thing. You know, could I look at it? Sure. I also cannot... We're just having fun right now. So, I'll write down my notes. I'm done. I got the image I need, so... In my notes we'll say... Yeah, probably a little overused. Might be good to have a Murloc specific scale image. All right. Is this the biggest priority? I'm going to be like, this is like low to mid. Let's see what else. I'm just catching up with chat. Now that it's not just showing me the top chat. Tried switching over to Aspirite. Yep. Shout outs to all the ethical pirators out there. Wowhead is down. I killed it. My power alone was what it took. So, you know what? Let's just start. There it is. That is the Murloc scale. That's... Might not look it, but far away. Now, we have a couple options here. Is this the one I want to go with? Or do I just want to do a simple recolor? I could. It would probably be the least jarring one because if I put in something completely different, completely foreign, it I think it does take away a little bit from the vanilla feel. Remember, the goal of the project is just differentiation. I can't help everyone either. There's going to be people that have color blindness. I can't do all of it, but, something to help. Is this scale great? It's not the best. Now, we do have one issue. There are many different colors of murlocs. So this sort of light purple vibe, it's not the best. Because there's green, there's red, there's white, I think there's probably fewer purple murlocs than there are any other color. So this icon isn't necessarily that accurate. Now, before I did mention lightly borrowing people's icons, from my chatting with members of the team, they don't want to just simply take stuff from retail WoW and then repurpose it. And oftentimes the art style does not look the same. So we might be looking at a situation where maybe we just need a different scale. Is this the right one? And as Rauk Hengren says, it looks more like a dragon whelp scale. Remember, murlocs are supposed to be slimy amphibian creatures. So the notion of them having scales anyway is a little weird. So maybe you need something that maybe doesn't look quite like this. That could be one angle we take. We can look at the other vanilla icons, see if there's something that might fit better as a nice way of differentiating things. So before we go further with this, we'll bring back up the... where did I put it? I think I did here. Now, look at the other available monster scales we have. We have this one, which is monster scale 4. It's green. I feel like more murlocs are green than not. Maybe this one too could fit. It's white, so I could see that kind of being like translucent and a little bit more subtle. Because again, I don't know why murlocs would have big reptilian scales when they're clearly amphibians. So here's what I'll start off with. Well, let's take a look at how many things are using Inventory Misc Monster Scale 18. As I don't think I've seen this one very often. Maybe that's a good place to start. Monster Scale 18. Oh, that's right. I straight up... It's still just dead forever, huh? That's so annoying. Is there like a Wowhead backup? Vanilla, wow. We can try it. I haven't always had the best luck with this. Envy, Misc, Monster Scale 18. That's funny, it points to Wowhead. Thanks. Does anyone know of a way? Because this is literally part of the process, is seeing how often the icon's used. Gah. Also, there's another spot at the beginning. Can I, all right, can I do it this way? I think this is pretty much... I think this is very much what the TurtleWow database is built off of. I could try it. I don't think it's going to help us at all, though. If I do a INV MISC monster scale. Yeah, see, I can't. I haven't seen that white one used very often, though. And the nice thing about Wowhead is you can click on an icon and see what else it's used in. Yeah, I know, Haxer. There's no icon view. Well, I'm just going to take this away for a second. I'm just going to literally do a Google search for it. INV MISC monster scale _18. Well, it threw me over to Wowpedia. We have a little bit of a list. Deep Sea Scale, Son of Seth, Prismatic Scale. Any chance I could see the whole list? No, of course not. So, I would probably say right now that I can't check everything out, but there's a number of ways that this could go down. Let's see. Sets item icons automatically based on pre-populated and other user-defined. Why is it working now? All right. So here's what we'll do. So we think there's some merit. I'm going to go here. I'm going to add some extra rows. That's not where I wanted that. And then what is Control Y for redo? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just put in a couple extra rows. And now we go over to the database. So, Slimy Murloc Scale is one we're considering changing. And Murloc Fin. Yeah, I think we already had one of these, I think. Absolutely scintillatingly exciting content, everyone. But you know what? I have fun doing it. So I have these two items. Now, the way you can figure out... I don't think you guys can actually see this. But if you look over in the... Oh, that's... Do not do that. Right at the top, you can see like there's a spot where you can see a number. That number is going to be your item number. And that matters for people that change stuff in the database because this item's ID is what ties everything into the database. So you have to know that ID. So when we go back here, I have, it says 1468 is the item ID. I'm going to go here. Oh boy, I already forgot what it was. 1468. We'll start with 1468. And that is going to be Murloc. scale. So now I'm going to say what the item currently is, which is INV MISC monster scale. I forget the number now, but no, you won't tell me anymore. Fine, be that way. Is it? No, 18 was the white one, I think. It's 02. So then I put in what it currently is, which is 02. We're going to get the slimy Murloc scale, 5784. Slimy Murloc scale. Easy enough. I have a number of statuses. This is mostly to help me organize things, but what I'm going to do here, we're still pending on this one. We don't have any new item or artwork right now. So in this column is where I would put the, when I submit things to the team, the image itself is going to have a file name, much like the current WoW file name. So if I have one that's going to get replaced or changed, this is where I would put it. So obviously this isn't like set in stone and this is what we're going to be doing, but just for a test, right? I'll put in swap. There's a number of options here, right? Pending is it's an idea, something needs to be done. New icon is, hey, there's new artwork, and I would show what it is. Updated is for icons that I had previously had submitted, and now they have an updated version, so it would tell whoever inputs it to like put in the new version. No change means I'm listing it here in a list of other icons, and of them, this one won't change because we don't need to change every single icon in the game. And swap sounds a lot like what it is, and submitted is, okay, they have it. So I'm going to put swap here. Now here's why. Swap is when there's an icon in the game that already exists. It's already in the game file. Let me show you this little. If I do inventory, is it drink? Yeah. Some of these icons are never used in game. Like they're just straight out not used. I believe, like these purple ones, I think some of them do not have a use. They're literally in your game though. So there are some times when, hey, why don't we throw this in somewhere? Because the original creators had this icon laying around. So sometimes that's the best way to recapture. So what I'm going to argue here is that maybe we go ahead and I think it was MISC. I haven't seen many people use this white one. Not set in stone, but I'm going to use monster scale 18 for these two. I'll save myself the typing. Boom. And so now, when and if the team gets around to it, all the work that needs to be done is already done for them. It's a beautiful thing. Sorry, let me check out. Just wanted to say hello and thanks for all the work you do for the community, especially the Turtle Wow News. Thank you, Stephen. That's really nice of you to say. I appreciate that. Yeah, if anyone wants to keep refreshing WoW ahead and tell me when it's back up. Sorry, Haxer, I missed that question. Because I have a literal live desktop, I can't use all my screens as easily. Maybe I could put you guys. Well, no, I should be able to see that. Okay. was trying to see if I could like pop out chat to see it while I'm doing work. No. Okay. Worth a shot. Hello, Onega. All right, so that's probably one of the easier solutions when you just find an icon that's perfect for what you need. I had something in mind that we can tackle, but I think early on, I'm pretty sure it was Ploxin who came out with this one. Came out swinging. And I agree. Try to see, can I think I've already changed it. Or maybe I haven't. I am getting the stuff. Give me a moment. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm showing this off for a reason. This is the I just bandied about something like, hey, these are just drafts to let you know what you guys think. Tell me how it feels, that kind of stuff. Now, this is a contentious one I've been toying around with. It is... Oh, I gotta actually have it up here. Hello. Iron ore and elemental earth. And this is the raw artwork. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little intimidating. Elemental earth is just like a core high-end thing that everyone's gonna look for. Their brains are trained to look for this. But a common complaint I've heard about it is that it gets mixed in with iron ore. Fair enough. Now, there are two ways we could go about this. I could make the iron ore look more like iron ore, or I could do something to the elemental earth to make it stand out from the iron ore. There's a couple angles here you could take. I also wanted to highlight another interesting thing I discovered. Does this... Oh, can I do that? Oh, that would... Oh, yes, that would be best. Is it mine? Hold on, I'll figure out what the name of it was. Iron ore. By the way, iron ore and dark iron ore actually have a visual distinction. It's kind of nice. And then, you just tell me your name. No, of course you won't. Inventory or iron 01. Let's keep that in mind. Inventory or. So when I do the little search to see what's like in the Turtle WoW game, inventory or. Now here was a discovery I made. I was doing my process, right? Right off the bat, I'm like, okay, what ores are available? They literally have an icon that I'll have to confirm it because Wowhead's crapping the bed right now. There's literally an icon called inventory or iron nugget. Why was this not used? There's also silver nugget and gold nugget. Maybe there's something in the game that I'm not aware of. I could look into it. I'm going to double check literally right now to be like, is anything even used the name nugget? Nugget slug? Oh, I mean, okay. So, I mean, was that icon ever used? Let's go check Wowhead, make sure it's dead. Iron ore. He's still dead? Oh, it's back alive. Guys, it's alive again. Let's go. Now I could show more of the process again. This is good. Alright, see, can I just show that? Alright, here's why this is important. So I can, by the icon itself, see how often it's used. And according to this, iron ore, the image, is only used 4 times. That's actually, out of all the ones I've found, this is actually one of the, it's not that bad of an offender. Now, we did see that other strange icon, right? Does vanilla use it anywhere? If I do inventory ore. I'm looking. I don't see it. Inventory ore. What was the name that I found? What was it? Ore iron nugget. Oh, I just lost my browser. Iron. It turns out this icon just isn't used. I can't figure out if that's the case through Turtle WoW. I mean, I could just look for like crushed up rocks and hope for the best, but I haven't seen it. Sometimes you can just search for rocks. Let's go with, yeah. There's only 137 of them. It's easy enough to flip through these. There's pet rock. All right. I mean, so that icon we saw literally is not used anywhere in the game, as far as I'm aware. So, you know, what can we do with that? I have right here. This is the list that I was working off of. This is a good opportunity to maybe use the swap function. Well, I'm going to go to iron ore, do swap, inventory, or what was your full legal name, sir? Or iron nugget. Oh, I did that thing again. Or iron nuggets. Iron nuggets. I don't think there was a... There wasn't a number associated with that, was there? No, there was not. All right, so that's simple enough. Now, here's the advantage of this. Elemental ore and how it looks is like seared into the mind of some people. And I understand that, and I respect that, and I don't need to change everything. So I could just no change it. And then here for a note. This is just like some of my own notes, but like already exists in game. Easy clap. Oh, that's not how you spell easy clap. There it is. All right. We've already helped another person. Another Stefan. Hello. Sorry, I'm just looking now at chat again. Also, Rock Hangren says iron ore should look like iron ore. Yeah, I agree. All right, so I'm hearing this from Haxer as well. I heard it from other people. I kind of agree, but I wanted to show, like what I would personally recommend is probably the stuff I've already done work on. So I can go back and change this. But what I really wanted to illustrate is that there are tons of icons that just aren't used. And I thought this was a good example of it. I think iron ore nugget doesn't really represent iron ore that well. I really like the round look to it. But that's an example of some of the work that I do. Where is it? Well, we talked about doing actual artwork, and we'll get to that. Someone said to check Discord. Haxer, I'm so jealous you have that tool. That would make some of my job a lot easier. By the way, it's not my job. This is literally a hobby. But okay. So let's talk elemental earth. How can I convey to someone that this isn't an ore, a chunk of iron ore. This is elemental earth. Now, there is one thing we did see that acts as a really good example. I'll bring it up again here. Right here. That's mithril? That does not seem right. Oh wait, no, that's just the name. Don't think about it too hard, but inventory ore mithril 01, that's actually dark iron. So you see the difference here? This is iron ore and this is dark iron. So they, if you look underneath, there's like, can I make this any bigger? I can. So underneath here, you see like some red. They put a lens flare on here. Actually, I kind of want to highlight this more. It's kind of funny how jank it was. Dark iron. Your dark iron ore. Don't worry, we're not getting rid of you yet, elemental earth. So this is what I want to show you guys. They actually put a lens flare in. If I showed you the version of iron ore, here's what it looks like. You can also notice another small thing here. It looks like they added some. It's like slightly bigger. And although they look very similar, there's actually different shading used. This means they actually had like a real artist made a different one. They look very similar, but they're actually different. Cool. So we know for a fact that the original vanilla team used lighting, shade, apparently lens flare, and other particle effects to differentiate two items that look super similar. So in that vein, I want to show an iteration. I think some people have already seen the version I put out, which looks like this. I heard some people are going, doesn't look so great. I think it could look better. You have to remember too, when you're looking at it in game, it's going to be like that versus, it's going to be about there. It's not that different. It's different, but it's not that different. So I'm going to show you guys how I do some of the highlighting behind. It's actually a very easy trick. If you know how to get around in your image software, this is what you do. So before with the banana, I showed how to like grab the thing and cut it and then make separate layers. So what I'm going to do now, just to show, it does have its own layer. This is just the elemental earth. So I'm going to click a button here. It says duplicate layer. It does exactly what you think it did. It just made another layer. That's an identical copy of the layer that was selected on. So I'm going to go here to effects. I'm going to do a drop shadow. Now, something to know about drop shadows is that the intended purpose for these are usually to give an object sort of like a shadow. That's not too crazy. You can do some other stuff with it though. And let me show off some of that. All right. So right now it's set to black. Its shadow is black. That doesn't make sense in a black background. But if I do a little bit of Ooh, what do we got? What do we got here? Ooh, some different colors. All right. So we know that dark iron ore already, we'll say, has the monopoly if you're on red for an additional color. We don't want too many objects with the same shape-ish to have like the same color scheme. So if we can avoid that, we will. Now, what color can we associate with elemental earth? I think the obvious go-to is green. Nature green. So let me try to get like a green here. Now we're not seeing much, right? If I just do this, here's what the image is. That's all it did. Now if I do the distance makes it, well, I mean, it's like I'm shifting it away. We don't want that. I can make the shadow radius a little chonky. Oh. Well. If it isn't a green glowing, possibly radioactive thing, I can mess with the color some more. We don't want it to be too blue, right? Green is a nice effect. Try giving it a glow and shifting the hue to brown. Yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot. So this is what hacks are suggesting. Let's go with, where is it? Shifting hue to brown is not always simple, but... Oh, what did I just do? Now, does anyone remember when I was talking about hue shifting, one of the difficulties? The actual base item itself doesn't actually have a ton of color to work with for hue shifting. So I can kind of force some of the colors. I could like up the saturation and get something to kind of work with me. Brown is a hard color to capture. Now, do you see what happened right there? By the way, we're seeing how the sausage is made. If I get rid of all this. Oh, I had the wrong layer selected. By the way, if anything seems like it's not working when you're doing this, always remember you have the right layer selected. All right, go back to Brown Town. All right, do you see how there's like that red on the bottom? Just keep that in mind. Do you know what that reminds me of? Now we know how the Vanilla WoW devs did it. I mean, they actually had like real artists. I would say that the red makes it a little busy, so maybe we could go for a slightly different hue, or I could dump down the saturation a little bit. Vrogreg is showing off some Iron Will with no smoking for 90 minutes. Raukangren, I don't smoke. I vape, but thank you for reminding me. Raukangren is out here reminding me of my nicotine addiction. Where would I be without you? You know, am I thrilled with maybe this color? Oh, I don't really need that. Not particularly, but here's the joy. Here's the genuine joy of this. These are tiny icons. I could make a bevy of them, like a series of like, I don't know, 4 to 6 of them. I can package them and then send them out. And you know, that's what I'll do right now. I really like the green glow. A small thing I am noticing, and this is just something that's gonna bother me. I have like these weird artifacts here. I don't know what that's all about. Where is that coming from? I'm gonna really zoom in. Looks like there might be some bleed over. If I... Let's get an eraser out. Does that make it better? That does. Lovely. I'm gonna find any of those other spots. And this is part of the real meticulousness of making an icon look good. You really should take time to make sure things like this are taken care of. And see what happened right there? There was a pixel I missed when I did the lightening up around the edges. And I could probably do a little better right there. Let's get this brush size down to 1. Lovely. All right. Is there any other spots? Anytime the colors don't really blend well, it's kind of noticeable. Yeah, okay, we're looking better now. Oh, wait, when you zoom out, you can see them. Some of these color gradients aren't where I want them to be. In fact, I know they're out there. Much better. That's looking clean. I like it. So I'm going to try a couple different versions. So I'll get down, do a little bit of the old hue shifting. I'm not against this one. This almost makes it look living, which is like a little unnerving if I'm being honest. I can also change the light here. I don't think I really want it to be much darker. No, don't like that. The nice thing about this is that it kind of gives it almost like a seed-like quality. Anyway, I'm doing this. Don't worry, I'll have a couple versions to put in. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the process where I make them all one layer. Select it. Copy it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to make a... elemental earth draft. I think I already have an elemental. Yeah, I see my first drafts here. Elemental earth draft 2. All right, let's make a couple more. Hello, Jose. How's it going? Oh, hey, Claytonio. I really appreciate you saying that. Sorry I'm not doing news right now, but I've been in the community for a while, and I'm really glad you found the content and enjoyed it. Rauk Hangren says, perhaps make the glow slightly less expanded over the icon. Like, you mean like go for a more subtle glow?
Feel the earth.
Let me see. I can try something like that, Rauk Hangren.
The spirit of the bear.
Oh, let's...
Protect.
We will just get rid of that one right now. We'll try doing something with that glow like you suggested, Rauk Hangren. Now, this is what we had before. Rauk Hangren was suggesting maybe a different sort of like bloom amount. Something a bit more subtle. Something like this. What do you think? Also, I could do an offset and really mess with people. Woo, woo. I think that might also be a good way to go. And you can see there's a difference, right? This versus this. Also, that's the two of them together. This or this. Or this. Let's go ahead and do a little bit more of that hue shifting. Any ideas you want for the hue shift, Raukangren? Maybe not even a hue shift. Ooh, look at that. We almost make it look green. Hello, Murag. How's it going? Do we still have that fun date thing we're doing?
Yeah.
When do you want to do that?
Well, I also remember scheduled to pick up and the pharmacy closes at 7, so before 7 would be great.
I'll tell you what. Okay. Everyone, Murag just came home. When I said we have a hot date going on, somebody, namely my wife, is going to take me out and we're going to go look at makeup and nail polish. Not for her. Not for her. No, no, no. You might be going, Frograg, I didn't know you wear makeup. Yes. Let me. I think it's under images. Do I still have it? Nope, apparently I don't. Don't worry, it's over here. Yeah, I got it. This Sunday, I'm bringing the image over. This Sunday. If you are interested, I am hosting an event on Nordernar called the Vrodrag Beach Party and Social. It is a Pride-themed event. It's just going to be a walkabout in the desert. We're going to finish up over at Steamweedle Port. There's going to be a fishing derby, a bunch of socialization. People get to chat, hang out, and there is now a much more than substantial chance that both versions of Vrograg, the one you're seeing on camera and the one you see in game, will be in drag. As part of the fun event. So I do actually, I have to, you know, I'm sure I could just use Murag's makeup, but I feel like at a certain point it's rude. And she says, "Oh, I don't like how that sounded." What don't... You don't have all the stuff for me?
For drag makeup? No.
What does drag makeup mean? Hold on. The mic's on.
Brighter colors than I own, and is going to involve using products that I don't own because I don't do full glam, full face makeup. I throw on like maybe some mascara and eyeshadow on a good day. Like, come on.
Okay. Here I was thinking I was just gonna like put on some lipstick and wear a dress. Be careful when you're moving that mic.
Honey, beauty is harder than that.
Well, we'll have to find out if Vrograg can put his mouth where his money is and actually dress drag. Your mic's off now. All right. Stefan is asking where we're at. I saw your message. I know you retracted, but I saw it. The image we're doing is Elemental Earth. I want to make a couple versions of that. After we're done making a couple versions, I will probably have to wrap things up. I need to go, I guess, shopping. Oh, undo that. No, redo that. But yeah, overall, this is pretty much what the process is like when I'm making icons. I'm switching stuff around, finding spots where something looks good. Here's a little bit more. Trying to find a nice. Yeah, I might have to agree with Haxer. Haxer said brown looks good. I think brown does look good. Go over this and just tone it down a little bit.
No harm, no home. Strength and honor.
1, 2, 3. We got this one. Copying that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Regain my honor.
Now, here's the great thing. I can image canvas size. Let's make the width. Let's make it 200. I'm just grabbing a couple of versions of this. So y'all can decide for yourself which one you may like or may not like. Oh my, I can't believe how close these two came out. That's kind of silly. So the one on the left, that's the one I bandied about. I was just showing up. I'm like, hey, here's a draft. And then here's the other two versions. You know, I could submit all three of these and just leave it up to the team. I would say that I feel like the more hazy green on the right, I think that one's kind of sitting a little better with me if I had to choose. And like I was pointing out before, all I have to do is go here. And when I go to, where is it? Right here, I would change this over to no change. Let's keep iron ore the way it is. And then I would go to new icon. This is the last bit of trivia I wanted to share, is that when you are making icons, let me see, inventory potion. Inventory potion. There's a lot of different potions. When you make a new image, I actually have to find the end so I can add another one on. I think in vanilla it ends around like 101. After all the terrible things I've done, it's like I think close to like 160 now. So that's another thing I have to do. That's why I use that spreadsheet. And then I would put that right here in the slot. And that's the process. That's how it works. Oh yes, that's true, Haxter, thank you. I am already wearing makeup, but I've never worn enough makeup to be in drag, because I'm always in makeup because I'm an orc. Everyone knows that. Elemental Fell Earth. Well, that's why I didn't want the the rock to be green. And, you know, I could tone it down a little bit. I feel like Fell Earth's a little bit more limey, if that makes sense. First glow with the second nugget. I could try that. Give me a second. I still think I have it. First glow with the second nugget. Oh, that's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you think that one's a keeper? It still has the artifacting that I didn't fix. But yeah, I would agree. I think this actually is kind of a winner. Yeah. Easy. Then we're just gonna do boom, boom, boom. Another draft. Easy stuff. All right. So I won't spoil anything else, show anything else off for right now. I did make some new scrolls. Some fun stuff there too. However, I'm going to be wrapping up here. When you're saying to yourself, hey, I have an idea for an icon that I would really like to see, you know, be in the game or get fixed or something like that. Again, I don't have final say in any of this. I just submit it to the team, and if they have the time or wherewithal or, you know, can, then they can change it. This wonderful spreadsheet here, I will gladly share with everyone. Anyone with the link can view. We're just going to copy that link. I'm going to post it in both chats. You can take a look. Items that are been changed. Remember too, some of the columns are hidden. I'll leave them unhidden for now because I don't know if you can change that, but this has been great. The community is up to almost 200. Not all of those are changes, but at least they're items that were involved on the spreadsheet. So, if you want, there is the spreadsheet. Peruse at your own enjoyment. If you'd like to let me know about ones that you want changed, reach out to me in Discord. If you have artwork that you think would fit really well into anything, stuff that might be covered in the spreadsheet, stuff that might not, just keep it to items for right now. We don't want to do spell or spell buffs, just items, keeping it simple. If you have any artwork that you'd like to provide, though, you want me to put in, have the team review, vrogragfishlair@gmail.com. Remember the size restrictions and throw it in a zip folder, a zip file when you send it to prevent any compression bugs. And that's it. So, thank you everyone. I know it was a shorter stream. I know it was a harebrained scheme the entire time. But I'm glad I got to show off some of this stuff. I find it infinitely entertaining to do some of these things. It's like a passion of mine because I want there to be good quality of life, and I want icons to really illustrate the lore and flavor of the game. And so I think this is just something that would be good. And lastly, like, it's something that an idiot like me can do. Maybe not the best, but it's a way that even you could help and contribute. So if you guys like this, let me know for later. Maybe I'll do another one. But I had a lot of fun. But now it's time for me to go get ready to shop for drag. Still have no idea how that's going to work. So spread the word. Sunday, the event, noon, East Coast time, US East Coast. Hope to see you there. So I'll do my normal spiel. Take care of one another. Take care of yourself. If you're playing games, make sure you're having fun. And, as always, stay informed, because the deadliest weapon is knowledge. Bye, guys.